Hey people, let me tell you about the Notary Special Ops Workbook, all right? It's not just any old workbook, no. This thing is a game changer for notaries out there. You know why? Because it's not just about numbers and figures. It's about making you, as a notary, feel like $1,000,000. Listen up, folks. This workbook, it's like your secret weapon. It's got all those tips and tricks that will make you stand out in the notary game. It's not just about the sales. It's about making you feel more significant, respected, and valued in what you do. I'm talking about strategies that will boost your confidence, elevate your professionalism, and earn you the respect you deserve. When you're armed with this workbook, you're not just a notary, you're the notary, the one everyone turns to because they know you mean business. This Notary Special Ops Workbook, it's your ticket to feeling like a top-notch, respected notary. Trust me. When you've got this in your arsenal, you'll walk into any room like you own it.
Peace, peace, peace. This is your international sales and marketing hitman, your humble hip hop sales coach, Tiger Toledo. And you already know what it is, man. You rock it with the best. You heard? So we're rolling out a new show right now. Today is episode 1 of your first $1,000 as a traveling notary. Now, I see my cam kind of slowing down, so I'm going to do this. We'll do that. We'll slow down the cam real quick. But yeah, your first $1,000 as a traveling notary. This is episode 1. It's going to be a limited series we're going to roll out. And we would love your input on how we can help you make, maybe you made $1,000 many moons ago, or maybe you are just getting started, brand new commission, and you want to, learn how to make $1,000, your first $1,000 in this business. That's why we are here to help. So definitely leave your comments, leave, questions and all of that good stuff. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. What up, Tech? What up to Zozo Bistro? What up, Pam? What up, Slim Tia? Yeah, we got to get it cracking. So first 1,000. Let me think what I was doing to get my first 1,000. Interestingly, let me go. Let me show my camera again. So my first 1,000, right? The very first thing I did, way before I got my commission or anything like that, I engaged in marketing immediately. I engaged in marketing immediately because I know that if I could start getting phone calls coming in, I can start to generate money. But if I don't get any phone calls coming in, it's going to be a bit difficult to close deals, don't you think? So I immediately created a Google My Business listing. So if you haven't made your first $1,000, I'm going to give you a couple of tips that will help get the ball rolling in the right direction. Okay. So the first thing I would recommend is getting a Google My Business listing. Just get one, create one. There is a system for it, but I'd rather you get started with one now and you learn the system later on. Or, if you do have time, we have some great courses on that where you can join the Notary Cashflow Academy and learn how to create a very effective Google business listing. Okay, so we got to get Google business listing out of the way. Another thing that people sleep on a lot is Bing. Get Bing. Create a Bing business listing. They have the same thing, the same capabilities as Google. Create one of those listings. Now, what I'm showing you real quick is how to work directly to customer. Go directly to the customer. No middleman, nobody stepping on the work, so it works out really, really well if you're able to do that. Then after the Google My Business listing, after the Bing listing, I'll even sign up for Yelp. Now, I'm telling you guys exactly what I did. I signed up for Yelp. Now, caution, Yelp has very aggressive salespeople. They will come at you to try to sell you advertising on their platform. Truth be told, my experience and a couple of other people I know that spend, quite a bit of money with their advertising is shit. The advertising ain't worth nothing. Yes, sorry, Yelp, I had to call you out. But your advertising ain't worth nothing. So I would create a Google My Business listing, a Bing listing, and then a Yelp listing as well. The next thing I would do, again, now your food may be stepped on a little bit using these platforms, but it will help you clip up to make your first $1,000 as a traveling notary. Sign up for the directories. Some of the directories that are out there right now, or one of my favorite, which I find a lot of notaries. And you know what? Yeah, I'll say this. Your appointment will be stepped on if it's coming from a person that actually closed the deal for you. And that's understood. They closed the deal, so they get first dibs at the bread. But you can negotiate your terms. Excuse me. So one of my favorites is Notary Cafe. Sign up for Notary Cafe and complete the profile. I can't tell you how many times I go to Notary Cafe and I see people like 50% complete, 53% complete, 73% complete. There's rare that you'll find somebody completed down to 99 to 100. But I'll tell you one thing. If I see that a person has completed 99 to 100 of their profile on Notary Cafe, I'm more likely to choose them, because if I'm grading them, like, as on a scale like for a school, they would have an A. If a person only completes 53% of their profile, then that's an F, right? So I use the school grade when I'm looking at Notary Cafe. So creating your entire profile will be extremely helpful for you to get companies and private clients to find you. Another good one. Now, these websites they look dated, but they have a very good base of clients that actually go to their site to find notaries. And those sites are 123 Notary and NotaryRotary.com. 123 Notary and NotaryRotary.com. Those are really, really good platforms when it comes to getting some business for yourself. So I really, really highly suggest that you use these directories, and you also use, hold on, y'all. I want to make sure I got this. Use the directory and get clients directly yourself. Very important. Very, very important. Because if the client comes directly to you, you can set your price to what you want it to be. If they're coming from someone else, they're going to set their price, and then they're going to ask you, how much are you going to charge to run this appointment, run this assignment? So we're gonna throughout this show, we're gonna cover a lot of things as far as like how to build your notary agency, how how to handle the phone calls that comes in. And I want to add this background real quick. So be on the lookout for that. Also, I am very proud to announce that my brother Tech and I have been working on a new SaaS. And for those that don't know what a SaaS is software acting as a system, right? And I want to introduce to you guys Sabrina. I got to introduce to you guys Sabrina. Now, Sabrina is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week AI voice-powered system. That's what she is. She is an AI voice-powered system. I'm going to add the QR code for you guys to be able to download it. Hold on one second. It's a game changer. It is everything that I wanted when I was running my notary business. And when I was running my notary business, now again, this may not be for freshmen. I repeat, it may not be for freshmen. You might be an overachiever that excels very quickly, and you have graduated to sophomore, junior, right? Or even senior in some cases. But Sabrina, this is the QR code, you guys. Scan the QR code, and it will take you to book a free demo. When I started with my notary business, and I was getting quite a bit of phone calls. I was getting about maybe 60 phone calls per day. It was a lot, especially it was just me at the time. So before I hired a virtual assistant, I had this software called CallJoy. It was an AI powered voice automated system, which was able to get people like answer the phone for me. So if I'm getting multiple phone calls at the same time, or maybe I'm in the shower, or maybe I'm in the movies, enjoying a movie with my kids, or I'm just out there with the wife, on date night, and I can't get to the phone, CallJoy would answer the phone call for me and facilitate the sale. It would book them into my calendar, whatever time that I had set up in my calendar. At the time I was using Calendly, and it booked the appointments for me. Now, Tech and I created Sabrina, which does the same thing, but even better. Even better. So if you guys would like a free demo of what Sabrina could do for your notary business, and by the way, we brung it to the notary business first. I'll say this. It'll be complete transparent with you guys. We brung it to the notary business first because that is the area where me and Tech excel at. And then, Tech is also in the medicine, but we excel at the notary business. So we have deep found insight on what the notary business is missing. And creating this has freed up so much time. So I would implore you to check out Sabrina. We already rolled it out in home construction businesses. We rolled it out in the notary business first, but now we're in the process of closing a couple of window companies, maybe some siding companies, and it's very affordable. Very affordable. So get in on the grandfather plan. Okay, so the next thing I did was, did I make business cards? I don't think I made business cards because I didn't really need business cards like that yet. I was getting enough people coming in. I actually have it in the book. You guys gonna make me go into my archive. I have journals of I've documented the entire process. So after I did the directories, I was getting phone call. Okay. I immediately had to roll out my call script. Now, if you guys do not have my call script. You can go to Amazon.com right now, look up Tiger Toledo, and get one of those call script books. Get a call script journal. It'll pay for itself. Promise you. That book, I think, costs like $20 if you bought it. That book will make you thousands. Thousands. Tens and tens of thousands. So, very good investment if you can get that book. It's the call script. I think it's called the $1 Million Call Script, or the $250,000 call script. Is one of those two. But check those out. I'll try to put the link in for you guys. Let's see. I had to get the call script because as I was getting phone calls, I had to close the deal. My closing ratio was very low in the beginning, and I wasn't able to service my clients at a very high level because I was all over the phone call. It wasn't structured. The client wasn't structured. I didn't expect them to be because they're calling me for information. So the fact that they were calling and I was all over the place, they were all over the place. You could imagine the phone call went to shit. And my notarizations were like $30, $35 a pop. Ridiculous. You don't want to be that. I'm going to help you guys avoid that. I want to welcome my man, Tech Abaku, to the show. What up, brother? I figured this could be our new show right here, man. Your first $1,000, man. What do you think?
I like it. I'm feeling it. Yeah, that's important because people don't think that you can do that. It's possible. Easy. I remember my first $1,000. Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah, I remember the first time it was March 2021. Yeah, I exactly remember the date because I sent a screenshot to Brother Drake.
Now, what systems did you have in place, like when you were getting to your first $1,000? What were you doing?
I had.
Thank you, Pam. Pam from PNB Solutions says, "Congratulations on Sabrina." I'm telling them about Sabrina, Tech. I'm telling them about Sabrina, fam.
I can tell you what I didn't have when I first hit my first 1,000. I didn't have Sabrina.
Yeah,
that's because I was doing all the work. I was doing all the running around, emails, phone calls. I was doing everything. But you know what? Back then, I was so excited. I couldn't believe that I was making money outside of the plantation. Yeah, it was making money where I didn't have to actually go and clock in somewhere. I was just so excited that I could generate $1 on my own, independent of an actual traditional 9-to-5 job. So, the fact that I remember I made my first $300 in a month. I was like, whoa, like this is money that's accounted from somewhere else. It didn't come from, it wasn't in a check form. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like a direct deposit from a check, from a job. And then the next month it was like $780. And then it was like $1,000. That was like $1,000. It was $1,014. I'll never forget that. And I was like, wow. I did an additional $1,014, like away from work. I was like, whoa. Yeah, and but I was definitely had a phone. And I still to this day, I still got the same phone. You believe that? Let me show you real quick, man. I'm gonna show y'all. And I don't like to talk about like income and all that stuff. We like to talk about getting the clients, executing, securing the clients. How much money you make you might make more money than I make. I make more money you make. That's all relative. You may not need as much money as I make, right? I actually may not need as much money as you make in your life. So it's all relative. But I'll tell you one thing though. I can afford to buy a new phone. Okay, let's just say that I can afford to get a new phone. All right, that's not a problem. But I still have the same phone that I have from 3-4 years ago when I first started my notary business. But I do that, and my wife always says this: "Why don't you get a new phone? Like, come on, get a new phone." And I tell her I do that to make a point. She was like, "I think you made your point already." But yeah, I do that because you don't need anything fancy to run this operation. You don't need nothing. It don't gotta be the iPhone 35. You don't have to have anything spectacular. This phone knows me better than a lot of people know me. You know what I'm saying? I run everything from this old ass cell phone, and I think my mom gave me this phone. It was like one of her old phones. Mm-hmm. She didn't need it no more, and I said I'll take it. So I just took it from her, and I connected it to Google Business, and it was a wrap from there, man. But yeah, that's it. My first 1,000, I had the phone, I had Google Forms. I didn't have no calendar at the time, no automation.
You was doing Google Forms.
Yeah, I did Google Forms.
Wow.
I was calling people up.
Wow. Okay.
Email. I had email and I had PayPal, payment gateway. That's it. Those 4 things. That was it. Phone,
okay. The email, was it a business email? Was it just your regular email?
No, I had a business email.
Okay.
Always had a business email.
Yeah, that's real, man. Yeah, I didn't, man. When I look back how I started, and you know what's great about it is that a lot of those stuff still holds today, right? Like they could still practice and do these same steps, and it will get them to their first rack. You know, and you could do it even faster than we did, because now you know the tools that you need to execute on. So yeah, I know. I went immediately after Google My Business. I went immediately into the directories, and then I kind of like pumped my brakes after the directories, and then I started working internally with getting the call script right, and then my pricing. So the call script and my pricing, I had to figure that out. Now, the way I figured out my pricing, and you guys could, you know, try it yourself, is you're looking for resistance, right? So when I was, you know, closing notary deals, I wanted to, if somebody was agreeing to my price too quickly, I knew my price was too low. So, you know, you can imagine I'm doing traveling notary service in Chicago for $30. Like, who's gonna turn that down? Right.
They're like, come right down. When can you come right down? $30? Yeah. If 10 out of 10 people go for your price, you're too low. You're too cheap in the market. You're way too cheap in the market. You want to lose a couple of deals in order to get bigger deals. So after a while, I would do the call script, and I would just keep slowly but surely raising my prices until I hit a brick wall. And then I could always dial it back and then, you know, get the revenue jumping again. But of course, it all comes down to the phone call. If I'm not getting any phone calls, I don't have nothing to practice with. So you weren't afraid to lose the deals?
Oh yeah. I'm willing to lose 70% of the deals.
See, that's completely different than a lot of people, and me, myself included, because when I read the Rise of the Smart Notary, that's when I first heard that concept at all. Just like, you want to hear no's. I was like, what? Why? That doesn't make sense to me. Why would I want to hear a no? Why would I want people to turn me down? It made zero sense to me.
Well, you know, because one, it's confrontational when you are approaching a price structure that way, because now if you're looking for no's, that means you're willing to say something that may offend somebody, right? They may say, $100. Why are you charging $100? I thought it was. So it forces you to be creative, because there's creative ways of justifying your price, right? But you have to give pushback, because if you don't give push and then you don't get any pushback, it's hard to read what your audience are willing to pay for. So it went from $30 to $60. No kickback, right? I'm still closing at a higher rate. I was like, okay, that's something's wrong there. So I went from $60 to $97. I was getting a nice little tug of war with that one, right? But I knew that, okay, this is something that you guys can remember. Anything over $100 triggers something in people, which is called buyer's remorse. So if you can get $100 sale and up, you're actually crossing the other side of the pond. You're dealing with a different class of people at that point, because now they're thinking to themselves, do I want to keep this appointment or do I want to cancel it?
Yeah.
And if you can get clients to keep their appointment, you got something there. You got something really valuable in your hands.
That's amazing. That's so. Oh, did you freeze? I think you froze. Oh no, you still there. No, that's amazing. I don't even know. Like, that didn't even register to me until I heard it enough times. Like, so don't worry if you're not even getting that. If that's not registering with you, because it took me a while. Why does it make sense to get for somebody to say no? Why, like, and first, getting over the fact that you can actually even increase your prices. And why would how can I, when do I increase my price? How do I do it? Do I just, do I wait for them to tell me that they need, all these different things?
Mm-hmm.
They need printing? Do they need me to come expedite it? Do they need me to have extra witnesses? Like, how do I know when I would need to increase my price? And, for a lot of people, we know they don't have a call script.
Mm-hmm.
Like, straight up, I know you're winging it. I know you're just shooting in the dark, so to speak. You're calling your shot based upon that moment. And here's how you know, is because if you answer the phone, you say hello.
Yep.
People do that. People who've been doing it for years. And I'll be honest, people who are teaching you are doing that too. So at the same time,
shots fired. Shots fired.
You wonder why you never heard them actually with a real client before. When's the last time you actually heard them with a real client? So, it's crazy, man, to think that they're afraid to increase the price when 3 years ago, 4 years ago, everything else was different. All the prices everywhere else was lower. So why wouldn't you be lower? It hardly makes sense to me.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, like, if you're making your first $1,000, we want you to avoid some of these pitfalls, man. Some of these conundrums.
Get a call script.
Yeah, that's a very good way. Like, you get your business email, like Tech did. You get a second phone. Now, again, you ain't got to go crazy with the second phone. Your cell phone provider should be able to give you a really good deal. If not, go to Walmart and grab your ass a Boost Mobile or something, man. Go grab one of them burner phones and shit. We're using these tools as weapons. So it's not like you're just getting a phone just to be like, yo, I got two phones, like you're Kevin Gates in this motherfucker. You have two phones for a reason. One is bringing you money and the other one's more for personal use. So getting the two phones is very important. And then, you could get a decent amount of unlimited minutes for like $20 with one of those $20 cards. and then you just run the numbers up, man. Just keep running the. So if they reach out to you, you now have a business email. They reach out to you. You're not answering the phone and saying hello. You could say thank you for calling U.S. Notary Agency. Thanks for calling Golden Stamp Notary. You have an official business greeting, and then the call script is going to help you navigate the phone calls so you can close the deal. The fulfillment part is the easiest. Tech, how hard is it to do the fulfillment side?
Man, I mean, as long as you have a commission, you can do it. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care if you got it yesterday or if you got it the night before. As long as you have a commission, in my eyes, you can do it. I can walk you through it. I'd rather not, but I mean, you've done that before, right? You've walked people through actual appointments before, right?
Oh yeah. Heck, I got it on my brochure to walk them through it in case I'm not there.
Yeah. I
By
never.
the way, you guys are tuning into your first $1,000 as a traveling notary with Tech Amaku and Tiger Toledo. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Tech. So, those. I think the things that you do before you actually get on the phone call is probably the most important part. Then the actual, putting the stamp in your book bag or your messenger bag and driving. You already know how to drive. That's why they gave you a driver's license. You already know how to do all that. Stamping the documents. Look, you could go on YouTube and figure out how to stamp the documents, man. There's plenty of videos out there that does that.
Sure.
But being a marketer, an entrepreneur, being a salesperson to close deals, to make sure that revenue is coming into your business and you're getting repeat customers and you're using different type of marketing tools to attract new customers, get old customers, and you know what I mean? All of that stuff right there, that's what makes your business. Not your fancy business card that you got a gold sealed on it and you're throwing on all of your notary credentials like your NNAs and I'm certified in trust, I'm certified in the apostille, I'm certified like that's cool. But think about what when your customer looks at your business card and be like, I don't know what NNA is, I don't know what that is, I don't know what that is. It holds no weight. It holds weight with other notaries. And them niggas ain't purchasing your services.
Yeah, so who cares what they think?
Yeah.
How do you get the client? How can you secure an appointment?
Yeah.
That's the question you have to answer. All the lead up to that point. Look, I think I would say, would people be more comfortable if they knew what to do during the appointment? Are people afraid of what happens after the appointment? Is because think about it. In order to get more appointments, you have to do what you said, the lead up. You have to do the marketing. You have to do the advertising. You have to do the phone call. You have to actually communicate with the client. You have to negotiate sometimes. Mm-hmm. You have to get rejected sometimes. If you face that, what's on the other end is easy. You've already done that. But once you get to an appointment, if people were more secure or confident and comfortable with what happens after that, do you think they would do more of the stuff that they don't want to do I think people avoid the whole phone thing altogether. I think people just go to run to databases and listings and title companies, and I think real estate companies, they flock to those areas because it's easy pickings. Oh, somebody just hands it to me, then I go run an appointment. But the reality is, what if they change their mind and they decide not to do appointments with you anymore? What if they just decide that I'm going to work internally only. My real estate company will only work with our internal notaries, and we're not going to do anybody outside. And then all of a sudden, you know, those 20 appointments per month you were getting is cut down to 10 or 8 or none. So if you were more comfortable with that side, would it be better?
That's interesting because I know for a fact that there are two types of notaries that enter this game, right? The two type of notaries are you have one person that's going to enter it with the entrepreneur mindset. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to structure it that way, blah, 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 right? XYZ. Then you have the person that says, you know what? I just don't like my job. I'm looking for another job. And they'll enter the same industry, the same notary industry, but they have, I'm looking for a job mindset, which there's nothing wrong with that. But the way these two individuals approach the business is extremely different. So, Tech, I was telling them that there are two different type of people that enter the notary industry. It's the same industry, but two different type of people. One's an entrepreneur mindset, and the other one has more of an employee mindset. One of them wants to do their own thing, make their own hours, set their own schedule the way they want. The other is like, I want somebody to tell me when I'm going to these appointments, what I have to do, what I need to do, and all of this other stuff. So you have two different type of people entering the same industry. One can do both, but the other one will shy away from the entrepreneurial side. Because if you're going after title escrow companies, they're going to dictate to you what they want you to do. Even other signing services, they're going to dictate to you how they want to do it. But if you are like, I'm going to also learn how to hunt for myself and get my own business, get my own clientele, build my own email list, book of business, you're going to approach it a lot differently. What do you say, Tech?
Yeah, I mean, do both. Do both. But don't pretend like there's no difference between the two of those. Don't pretend like loan signing isn't a job. Don't pretend like that it isn't, because it is. It's not a business, and it's erroneous and fallacious to call it a business, because it's not a business. It can't. It by definition, it can't be a business. So it's dangerous. It's dangerous to think that I have a business, but I only have a business as long as somebody's giving me appointments. Because if I don't have any appointments, or if they don't pay me, then all of a sudden I don't have a business anymore, or I can't work anymore. And that's the reality. They can cut you off at any point. They can stop sending work your way at any point. And you don't have a plan B because you don't, or you're afraid, or you tend to shy away from doing what is necessary to go direct to client.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and to be honest, isn't that what you really want? Isn't it? Come on now, let's be real. Let's keep it all the way 100. Isn't that what you want? You want to go straight to the client. People always brag about being direct. What does that mean anyway? Direct. That means you went straight to the title company. Is that what that means?
No, that's no, I don't mean that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. That doesn't mean, man. Going direct means the client picked up the phone, they went to Google, Thumbtack, Yelp, or whatever it is. They looked at your phone number and they called you. You're speaking directly to the person who is spending the money. That's what direct means.
Yeah.
Direct doesn't mean you went to the Fidelity Title Company and then they contacted you and then they sent you to go out to somebody's house. That's not direct. Mm-mm. Just because there's no middleman in terms of a signing service. That's not what that is. Man, you will find yourself in a very, very tricky place if if that's your definition of direct. But I'm here to tell you, and I'm also here to support you in knowing that once you understand what the real definition is, your vision is so much clearer, way more clear now. You know how to move, you know how to navigate correctly.
And there's an independence and freedom with that as well. There's a huge independence and freedom being able to go direct to customer. See, because here's the thing, title company could give you 100 assignments to do, but you can't remarket to that 100 assignments because that's their customer, that's their client.
Exactly.
Right? But if you're going direct to the customer yourself, or the customer is calling you directly, now you can put them in an email funnel. You can send them text marketing. You can, you know what I mean? You can call them, wish them happy holidays, or send them birthday cards. Like it opens up a whole new world to you when you're able to go after your own clients.
Yeah. Don't
Again,
you dare,
like you said, do both. Get the money all the different ways. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna shy on that. But
if you market to other people's clients, to like if a title company or a signing service sends you out and then you go and you remarket to them clients, like I can't fault you or anything, but don't you dare do that. That's not your client. And I bet you if that title company found out that you did that, they tell you don't leave your business card with our clients. Those are not your clients. And I know somebody's probably watching this thinking, well, I leave my business card with them all the time, and I tell them to give me a review. All right, you got to be careful. I'm warning you right now. Those are not your clients. They didn't go to you. They didn't know who they were getting. They just teamed up with the title company, and then the title company selected you. The title company is your client. Who's paying you? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Who's paying you?
Yeah, exactly. Who's cutting the check? If you cutting the check to yourself, you're at the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
If somebody else cutting you the check, they stepped on it. You got to see who cut their check. Yeah. What? Here's the thing. What if somebody's cutting them their check that's cutting you your check?
Then you work for them too.
They done stepped on your shit twice.
Wow. Yeah, somebody's getting a cut.
Title company contacts. Okay, let's look what it looks like. Title company contacts signing service, U.S. notary agency, me, right? Or you. Then signing service contacts the notary. Your shit got stepped on twice, bro. But see, the difference between Tech and I is that we negotiate high enough margins so we can pay you and you'll at your asking price comfortably.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So everybody that looks at Tech and I and say, oh, you guys are charging way more than the company mandate. Well, you're not employing notaries, are you? You're not hiring other notaries and breaking bread with other notaries. You're just booking appointments for yourself. Look, here's the truth. Me and Tech can let our commission lapse today and still make money in the notary business, if not have even more freedom to close the deals the way we want to, without a bunch of these negative Nancy notaries saying, oh, you guys are charging $5 more than what the state mandate is. Dude, it is $1 to notarize a document in Illinois. Notaries who work for UPS don't even want to do it for that.
No.
And they're already getting paid $17, $20 an hour. So you can imagine a person that's trying to jump into the entrepreneurial field saying that I jumped into this field because I heard I can make money. But then in the same breath, they'll say something like, the state mandate is only $2.50. I thought you came into the industry to make money, dude.
Came in to be a lawyer. You know everything about the law. You know everything about every state law across all 50 states. You know what every state minimum is across all 50 states? Why are you policing somebody else's state? You don't even live in California. So, like,
Right.
it's crazy. But
let me give a couple of shout outs real quick.
Okay.
Shout out to Tahisha City Center Notary is in the building. Shout out to L. Shout out to Cynthia Bradley. Knowledge Swab, what up, baby? We got Bram You Sleep. I think that's what it's called. Shout out to you guys on Instagram. Yeah, and shout out to you guys on YouTube as well. You guys are now tuning into our latest show that Tech and I are rolling out, which is called Your First $1,000 as a Traveling Notary. Your first $1,000 as a traveling notary. This is our contribution back to the industry. Free game. Free game. Tech, do me a favor, my friend. I touched on Sabrina a little bit, but could you tell people how our latest software creation is reshaping the notary industry?
Oh man, the biggest issue that notaries have. Well, put it this way: I'm not even going to say notaries. I'm going to say people who happen to have notary commissions, right? Because you're an individual, you do your own thing. Maybe you work 9 to 5, you have a part-time job, you have other businesses. How many times does it happen when you get a phone call, you can't answer it? Number one, you answer it, and the person asks you a question. How much does it cost? And that question freezes you, literally stumps you. And then they say, well, you know what? Oh, that's too much. I'll go to the UPS store. You know, part of the reason why people have a bad taste about the notary industry is because, number one, they don't know how to get clients, and number two, they don't know how to close deals. You break it down beautifully. You say traffic and conversions. You can't get clients, you can't close deals. Well, imagine if all of that could be solved. How different would your opinion of this industry change? Would you enjoy it? Would it be much more fun? I think it would. I think you would get a lot more out of it. And that's the reason why the Sabrina AI, the model that frankly already exists, what we're trying to do is help those notaries who want literally to have a business. They think they have one, but they may not have it all put together. But those who want to remove themselves from doing every single little task and objective in their business, they now have their own sales agent, somebody who's going to do that task for them, somebody who's going to execute, if not as good as you are, better than you are. And that's what Sabrina is. Sabrina is somebody who I would hire. Somebody who, would you hire her?
Oh, 100%.
If you were trying to hire somebody, what would that person look like?
It would look like that app. My thing is, look, I get it, man. We creating businesses and we create jobs and stuff like that. But there's certain type of jobs that I feel are becoming obsolete. Or it can be outsourced and an AI can run it just as effectively, if not more efficiently than a human being. Now, being able to have a system running in the background while I'm living life is amazing to me because, we're about to go grab pizza. Today is Pizza Friday for me and the family, right? So Sabrina is working in the background, answering my phone calls, booking people on my calendar, and then it's handling objections for me, which frees up my time. I don't have to worry about somebody taking a vacation pay. They're calling off because they're sick. these are things that happen to human beings. It doesn't happen to AI. They get viruses, but they can get it. They can get it fixed very quickly. And again, I want to put this disclaimer out. I don't recommend Sabrina to freshmen. If you're brand new to the game, this ain't for you. This ain't for you, fam. We're gonna have to get you to graduate to the next level first. This is for people that are getting phone calls, and they know that they need some type of system to answer these phone calls for them and book appointments. And all they want to do is be able to look on their calendar, get a notification, look on their calendar, say, "Oh, great, I got an appointment booked for this time. Oh, great, I got my Saturdays all booked up." Or maybe you get a lot of spam calls and you want to filter through some of those spam calls that you get. Sabrina could do that for you. Heck, I got even one better for you.
What's that?
Sabrina can get your 5-star ratings for you. Sabrina can actually call your past customers to say, "Hey, you remember when ABC Notary came out and did your notarization? Well, you haven't had a chance to leave us a review on Google My Business. It will be deeply appreciated." What if something was running in the background doing all of that for you, and now all you're seeing is your 5-star rating going from 10 to 50 to 100 to 200? We all understand what social proof can do to influence people. Just go to Amazon, and first thing you do is you look for your product. Second thing you do is look for the damn reviews.
Yeah.
So why not have this AI, sophisticated AI program, go get the reviews for you? Go get them, girl. Get them, girls.
She's already doing it.
That's all I'm saying, man.
I mean, I'll give you an example.
I didn't do that, Tech.
Like, she's already doing it. She's already asking, "Can you please?" So when you're leaving a review, just so people who leave reviews, sometimes they have to be compelled to do it. They may have had.
We got a question, Tech. We got a question, brother. Pam says, "Does Sabrina accept payments?"
Yeah, you left that part out, Tiger.
I don't want to overload people, bro. Listen, man. I could take it there, but it'll be too much. So again, I leave the platform open so they can ask their question and be like, "Okay, can she do this?" And then we can answer it. But me just hitting them with a barrage of stuff that Sabrina could do. She's not a chat bot. She's AI. She understands language. That's the difference. She's not a chat bot. She's not a Q&A chat bot. Enter your frequently asked questions. Here's the questions that most people ask. It's not that. She will repeat certain things to you. But can she accept payments, Tech?
Do you confirm appointments without getting paid first?
Do I confirm appointments without getting paid? No.
Okay. So Sabrina confirms appointments, and the only way she can confirm an appointment is to collect payment. So if
how does she wait no, see now Tech and the engineers have been working really hard on this, so this is something new to me, y'all. What do you mean confirm appointments? How does she confirm appointments?
So you're right. The difference between a chatbot and an AI is completely different. A chatbot only says what you tell it to do. But Sabrina, she's more autonomous in the sense that she thinks on her own. She's given specific instructions, and she doesn't like derail from those instructions. All right. She follows the instructions, and she's great at it. 100%. One of her instructions is at the end of a call, let the client know. And this is the beauty of why it's been tested so much, and you test it and you test it and you see what happens when people interact with it. See, People think that when they just make an appointment, they say, "Oh yes, you're available at 2:30." You say yes. You say, "Okay, great. I'll give you my address." And they say, "Okay." Then you hang up the phone, and then wait a second, I haven't gotten paid yet. And then you show up to their house, and maybe you get paid, maybe you don't. Maybe they cancel the appointment, maybe they don't. Sabrina reminds you, "Hey, you want this appointment at 2:30, right?" You say yes. Okay, great. Here's the urgency that we throw in, right? We'll hold the spot for the next 15 minutes, but this will only be held and reserved. The appointment will, however, be confirmed once the payment is processed. So there's a difference there. So this is going to help people to take action. This is why you can go to the movies and go to eat pizza with your family and don't worry that Sabrina can't do the job. Go to the beach. You can sleep. You can go take a shower. Go to the bathroom, or go work your 9 to 5 job. Do whatever you do. Do whatever you do. I'm not gonna stop. Go to church. Go to your book club. Do all those things. Go hang out with your family. Go to the club, and let Sabrina. Like this whole thing about delegation has to if you're a business owner, right? If you are a business owner, then it's impossible to scale without some level of automation, some level of well, I'm not gonna say AI, I'm just say automation. Sabrina, trust that she's gonna do the job. She put it this way, I wouldn't confirm an appointment without getting paid first. Sabrina's definitely not gonna do it. So she does take payment, she does process payment, and the only way that an appointment will ever appear on your schedule is if you've gotten paid. That's the only way. And I know some people have different feelings about that. Should you collect payment first? Should you collect payment later?
Hell yeah, get the payment first. I ain't got no mixed feelings with that, bro. Get the money first, Chico or Chica. Get the money first. Figure it out later.
The day you don't get the money first will be a day you remember. Because the person may, I'm not gonna say they will, but I'm saying that I still remember the last time I took an appointment and didn't get paid first. It was the last time. It was the last and final time I ever done it.
Mm-hmm.
I tell the story in the book, right? I talk about the story because it was such a pivotal moment in my life that I vowed to never go to an appointment without getting paid first. It was that traumatic. And that was the catalyst. That was like the line in the sand. It was the turning point. And I don't know. Some people say, "Don't know. You should make sure that the comment that girl left on my page the other day. She left a comment talking about everything should be stamped first. You should appear before the client first, and then you should."
Well, give us a quick summary of what happened. So, other notaries, because this is your first 1K club, right?
Yeah.
So what was it that happened that made you say, you know what, I'm not going to do pay later in this situation?
So I used to send invoices to people to collect payment. I would take their dates, take their time, take their address, and then I would email them an invoice. That was my business model. And then the scheduling automation came along, and then that's when all of that got integrated. But the last time, while I was making that transition, I'll never forget this. It was the summertime, and I was still working at this high school, and I needed to be there at 2:00. It was about 30 minutes east. This appointment called at the last minute. It was a guy from New York. Shout out to you New Yorkers. He was calling from New York, and he said he has a client in San Francisco. San Francisco's west. I need to go east. His client was west. So he said, my client needs to ship a vehicle, and he needs to have this paper notarized before he can ship it. And I said, okay. Because I knew I needed to go east and I can't go west, I told the guy on the phone, I said, it's going to be $358. I did that on purpose. It was an astronomical number. I did that on purpose, and he agreed. So now, is that a bad thing? Not necessarily because you're going to get paid, but I knew if I took this appointment, I was going to be late for this for work. So I jumped in my car. So we hung up the phone. I told him there will be an invoice in the mail. I jumped in my car. I drove west, and I'm checking my PayPal the whole time on the phone. It's about a 30-minute drive. I'm checking my phone the whole time. Did he pay for it? Did he pay for it? Did he pay for it? He never paid for it. I got to the appointment. I notarized the document, and I told the guy there, he was Russian. I told the guy, hey, man, by the way, your partner in New York, he never paid for it. Then he goes, oh, no. I call him. We call him. The guy, he didn't know. He picked up the phone and he called him. He said, hey, man, the notary's here. He says he didn't get paid. Then I pick up the phone. We're on speaker at this phone, all three of us. We're on speaker. And I say, hey, man, notary's done. He's good to go. I didn't get paid yet. Then the guy goes, oh, yeah, I got the email. Let me do it right now. And he's like fumbling with it. Now, keep in mind, I got to go. I'm already late for work. I drove 30 minutes in the opposite direction. I got to drive back to work. I'm late. And I'm like, hey, man, just put the payment through. I'm going to take off. See, this is where I went wrong. I should have took the payment right there on the spot. But I trusted him. I had already executed notarization. The guy was already there on the phone. The other guy who was there in person, he seemed like he was cool. But I told him, listen, man, and mind you, this is how I did it up until this point. I was just sending out invoices and people would satisfy the invoice. And then I'm driving my way to work. I'm checking my phone the whole time. Did he pay it? Did he pay it?
Nothing.
Man, I got to work I was an hour late for work. And I remember that whole evening, I was salty. I was checking my phone. I called him up every single day for the next, probably about another month, every day for the next month.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You know what? I even called the appointment guy. I said, hey, man, your guy, he never paid for it. He never paid. And he goes, let me call him. He was Russian. Let me call him. Duh, we take care of it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You think I ever got paid? That was 4 years ago. I still got his number, by the way. It's Russian New Yorker in my phone.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Man, bro.
After that day, I told myself I would never leave my house again without getting paid. And that's in my business model is now. Shout out to Dre for talking about that, right? Getting paid in advance. But my business model, that's the core of my business model. Get paid first. Everything else, you find the notary afterwards. You wait until you don't get in your car. You don't print nothing. You don't do nothing until the money gets there. And that's the core of my business model. That's a true story, and I'll never forget that, man.
Yeah, bro. Nah.
Sorry to be long.
No. That was great, bro, because I had many just terrible situations as well when I had to collect payment at the spot. I strongly wouldn't recommend it because they really don't have anything invested into the appointment. They'll tell you, yeah, come out at 3:00 Friday, but they never broke bread with you. They don't have any skin in the game. So how hard is it for them to not answer their door once you get there, or ghost your phone calls,
or you stamp it and then they don't do anything? That's even worse. You actually perform the work. You drive there, not just you drive there, but you actually sign it and stamp it, and then they don't pay for it.
Ring the doorbell, nobody's home.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Man.
Credit card ain't working for some reason.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
They start ghosting your phone calls.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Fuck that, dude. Now you chasing them for a month.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Bill collector.
Come on, y'all. Learn from our mistakes. Learn from our mistakes.
I hope you never experience that.
Yeah, and there's a and it ain't just me in tech. There's a bunch of other notaries that got stiff like that in the worst way.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Years go by, they never got paid.
Yeah.
20 years go by, you never got paid.
It's like a detective that solves a case and then they say closed case, right? It's closed because everything went the way it was supposed to happen. But if you have your books open all the time, I mean, like tech, I had to threaten State Farm that if they didn't pay me, I was going to start charging them late fee.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
They didn't want that.
Interest.
Yeah, I was going to charge interest. That payment came in swiftly. But by the time I got payment, damn near a month and a half went by.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, so people who say that you should not get paid first, man, I ain't gonna tell you not to listen to them, but I would just say, do you not want to get paid first, or would you be happier if you did? I mean, the answer
and
is
most businesses, Tech. Don't you think most businesses get paid up front though? Like
when
you go to a
tonight,
grocery store and buy mayonnaise and ketchup and shit. Ain't you paying for it before you use it?
Last time I checked, yeah.
Right. So I don't know. You guys pick the business model that works for you. If you feel more comfortable charging later, you guys know what comes with that. I haven't seen one person that has taken Dre, Tiger, Tech's advice on getting paid up front be upset with that decision. I haven't met one.
What do you say to the person who says, well, we got to wait until the escrow closes or till the house is closed because, the loan signing agents, they always got something. We got to wait until, this and this and this and this happen before we get paid.
I go and I say, and I sing that Positive K song and I change the song. I change the lyrics and say, what's your closing got to do with me? I got a closing. I'm not trying to hear that. See, what's your closing got to do with me? I'm not trying to hear that. Come on, man, run that paper, man.
They just say that, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if y'all know that, but they just tell you that. That's not true. They tell you that,
bro. When they tell me, hey, yeah, after you do this assignment for us. We'll pay out about 3 to 6 weeks out for you to get paid. All I hear is this, bro. What?
Well,
I didn't get that.
Yeah, you don't have to talk into my good ear. I didn't hear what you
said. It's like no, seriously. We can only pay you, and within 6 weeks, you'll have your check from us.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It don't compute. It doesn't compute over here.
I'm gonna hear it. Yeah.
You guys, but just in case you didn't hear me, we're gonna have to collect payment up front before we dispatch one of our notaries. We usually don't do business like this, but we really need to get this done. And then
got him.
That's it. Yeah. Better I get them than they get me. Any final words, brother?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, what was it that you originally set out to do? Ask yourself that question. What was my original goal going out here? Was it to have a business? If the answer is yes, then to me, you can't do everything. It's impossible. You can't print all the paper. You can't drive all the miles. You can't answer all the phone calls. You can't respond to all the emails.
Sabrina can.
Yeah, Sabrina can. Sabrina certainly can. Yeah, and that's what her job is. She understands that. So yeah,
can. She can say, "Hey, do you need us to print this out for you? Do you need scan backs? Cha-ching," and she'll calculate it. Cha-ching. You needed a FedEx run? Disclaimer, you must send your label, your FedEx label to da-da-da-da-da-da. Sabrina will handle that.
But that's a good point, though, because when you go to McDonald's or you go get pizza tonight, don't they ask you that? Don't they ask you, hey, man, you want, like breadsticks?
Yeah. They know the flow of a customer's buying habits at that point. And luckily for us, we've been in this game for quite some time where we've taken hundreds, if not thousands of calls already, where we understand the buying habit of a person that's calling into a notary business. Like we could do it with our eyes closed. So the only most logical thing, the next level of evolution would be to create this SaaS software program for notaries.
Sabrina will be the best thing to I'm claiming this right now. Sabrina will be the best thing to hit the notary industry. I swear right now. Sabrina has been trained with over 544 phone calls. You see all them phone calls I be taking on Instagram and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
YouTube and all that stuff? 544 phone calls. Everything you can think of. Everything you can think of. People will say anything when it comes to making notary appointments. They got all kinds of things they say, right? Sabrina's been trained with 544 phone calls. You tell me that you stop it, bro. Stop it. Right now, man. See,
book your free demo. Book your free demo. Watch Sabrina in action. See how she really gets busy in these notary streets. Like I told you guys earlier, we brought it to the notary industry first, but we have branched off into the home improvement business already.
CPA is gonna be next. Accounting is gonna be next.
So I really appreciate you guys tuning into your first $1,000 as a traveling notary show. This is episode 1. We're going to be doing more episodes. We're going to cover things like how to build a notary agency. We're going to cover things like closing, how to close better, how to get your sales conversions up, marketing pieces that work effectively. We're going to cover a lot of good
Google
stuff
ads.
for you guys.
Google Ads.
Oh, yeah. You said Google Labs?
Ads. Nobody's talking about ads.
Yeah. That because a lot of them don't know what they're doing, Tech.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna get you that first 1K for sure.
Yeah, easily. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. For those that are playing, if you're a sophomore in the game, if you're a junior, if you're a senior in the game, and you're getting consistent phone calls, this is not for freshmen. Book your free demo with Sabrina. Watch what she does. She'll turn your calls into clients. That's what we trained her to do. Turn phone calls into clients. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, peace, love, and happiness. Tech, you want to say one more last thing? Oh, he's out. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.